Greetings, listener, and welcome to Almira. Almira is a world filled with magic, adventure, and mystery. The stories of this land are many and span countless centuries. However, those stories are largely lost to time and attrition. About 900 years ago, events took place that led to both the death and rebirth of magic on the material planes. Prior to those events, most histories were lost near the end of a centuries-long war between the upper and lower planes. As the forces of the upper planes dwindled, cities were sacked, resulting in the loss of a great deal of both art and historical text. As a result, little is remembered about the time that came before. Since the return of magic on the material plane, things are very different. A new pantheon guides its people. Cultures born of survivors have grown into diverse cities and towns all around both the eastern and western continents, and humanity has seen generations of peace. Though the stories of the time before may be largely forgotten, the stories of the era of rebuilding have been well preserved and taught to all who walk the earth. That is not to say that Almira is without struggle. There will always be those who seek to manipulate or intimidate for their own gain. There are undergrounds in every corner of the world, where criminals and ne'er-do-wells work in the shadows to their own ends. The leadership of the world is not without fault either. There are occasional tensions over trade and prosperity that arise from time to time, as well as internal struggles for power in some of the major cities. At the time our story takes place, all is, well, to be frank, not as well as it could be. For the most part, the day-to-day lives of Almirans are uneventful. Those in major cities who are perhaps more in the know may have heard about some unrest from some fiendish incursions not long ago. This is of course stressful because the last great conflict man remembers was the Great Planar War. But nothing has come of this so far. In fact, about a year ago, the most renowned heroes of the realm went off to the hells to put a stop to it all. Sure enough, the incursion stopped, but no one can remember any celebrations where the adventurers came home. How strange. Returning to the present day, Almira now finds itself in need of new heroes, whether its people know it or not. Before I tell you why they're needed, I will let them tell you who they are.
From the moment Beatrice Sanguinetti drew her first breath, she was destined to value two things and two things only: the family and their business. Growing up, she had access to the best the material plane had to offer: private tutors, fine clothes, exotic foods. And while her home may not have been what others would describe as warm or loving, she still managed to develop a close relationship with her three older brothers, Griffith, Tommy, and John. When it came to the day-to-day of the family operations, Bee's childhood was spent in blissful ignorance. She could only guess what the business actually did: shipping, finance, maybe construction. The truth was impossible to pin down, given the revolving cast of characters she saw passing through her father's office. Whatever it was important. She knew that much. On Bee's 18th birthday, however, everything changed. For that was the day that her mother revealed the truth. A truth far less mundane and far more sinister than she could have imagined. 5 generations ago, Beatrice's great-great-great-grandmother made a pact with an otherworldly creature. In doing so, she secured great power and financial freedom, not just for herself, but for every descendant who followed. The price? The firstborn daughter of each new generation would also be bound in lifelong service to this patron. The family business was nothing more than an instrument to carry out his will in the world. Her father and brothers, the leaders she'd looked up to, were figureheads, a line of defense shielding the matriarch from discovery or harm. Beatrice spent the next 7 years apprenticing under her mother, learning to run what was, beneath the veneer of respectability, the largest criminal enterprise on the continent. However, news of the violent and unexpected murder of her brother Tommy unraveled Bee's world and shook the Sanguinettis to their core, drawing them all together for his funeral. It was there, in the silence of their grief, that Beatrice, along with every surviving member of her family, was killed when a raven swooped overhead, dropping a fireball bomb into the coffin. As she floated in the liminal space of the afterlife, Biatrice found herself being pulled towards something, a power beyond what she knew power to be, the goddess of knowledge, Azara. Azara revealed that there was something deeply wrong in the world. Gods were falling to corruption, a darkness was spreading with the ability to end all things. Although the goddess had been hoping to find Beatrice's mother, it was now Beatrice's duty to return to the land of the living, find others like her, and unmask and destroy the shadow consuming the world. But first, she was granted the opportunity for vengeance. Imbued with a fragment of Azara's power, Bee found herself alive again, just in time to see the raven that had dropped the bomb on her family vanish into a carriage at the graveyard's edge. She gave chase, following the assassins to a ship at the docks and slipping aboard under the cover of an invisibility spell. Once inside, she easily dispensed of the entire crew along with their leader, who appeared to be possessed by something inhuman. With the help of conjured elementals, she claimed the ship as her own and set sail to find the others Azara had spoken of, her family's murder avenged, and a new mission before her.
When a teenage Kaelis was working in their town as a sign painter doing hand lettering, a local criminal organization had taken notice of the child who could write any way anyone asked. One day, Kaelis was pulled aside by a strange man who offered them a deal: do document forgery, and their family could be relieved of their financial pains. It was a no-brainer for Kaelis. Obviously, their family couldn't know the details of the work, but the money was so needed, it was an offer that could not be refused. They had never even attempted forgery, but they were willing to learn and study the documents and do whatever was necessary to make this work, to make their family safe and comfortable. Months passed, and Kaelis couldn't deny that they were getting very good at it, and furthermore, they had begun to really enjoy it. Not just the work, but the environment. These people were smart but indulgent, something Kaelis had never had the luxury of being before. There was a power to the role that they had taken on, and each successful forgery for each job, larger than the last, fueled a drive in Kaelis they hadn't known before. The money coming in was good and only getting better. They had to play serious much of the time to avoid being walked on, but this life was exhilarating, and any danger they encountered along the way only made it more fun. Kaelis worked out of a little office by now, and a regular client, Johnny, showed up one day with a request, which Kaelis assured him they would get to work on before ushering him back out. Little did they know, Johnny had other plans for Kaelis, and while they traveled home, Johnny caught them unaware, knocking them out and kidnapping them to an underground cavern. Upon waking up, Kaelis was obviously none too pleased, and managed to use their skills to slip out and away, only to find themselves in perhaps the most dangerous situation of all, surrounded by mind flayers, who appeared to be running this both literal and figurative underground operation. They were out of their depth, and they had no way out, but that wasn't enough to stop them from putting up a fight right to the end. The Mind Flayer pushed their mind into Kaelis's, overwhelming them. Thrown down into a deep cave, they were left to die. Passing into that space between life and death, a vision came to Kaelis of Azara. Never one to tangle with religion, this came as a surprise, but Azara's offer was the second irrefusable one Kaelis would encounter in their life. Take on a shard of Azara's power and help save the world, or die. Die leaving their family behind, without financial support Kaelis had been bringing in? Naturally, Kaelis agreed. Azara warned that she was not able to completely purge the Mind Flayer from Kaelis, and they would carry the scar of that in some way for the rest of their life. No matter. Some things just had to be done. And several hours after being left in that pit, Kaelis rose, born anew, with gifts they could have never fathomed. Gifts their captors couldn't have known would manifest, and Kaelis fought their way out, using the imprint of the Mind Flayer against them. Their weapon of choice against Kaelis became their greatest mistake, allowing Kaelis to intrude into their minds, tap into their thoughts, raising the inside of the cave and escaping back into the world above.
Breath. Silence. Terror? Not terror. Warmth. Hunger. Others. Smells. Light. Sound. Curiosity. Others. Kind two legs. New smells. No more others. Only kind two legs. Outside. Sounds, smells, other two legs, excitement. Wrong. Nervous. Two legs barking. Kind two legs scared. Protect kind two legs. Pain. Terror. Why? Kind two legs barking. Away? No, please. Away. New smell. Blood. Terror. Run. Kind two legs sleeping. Protect. Stay. Sleeping. Home. Please. Kind two legs. Cold. More two legs. Pain. Confusion. Survive. Home? No. Kind two legs gone. Home gone? Two legs? Pain. Broom? Pain. Small two legs chase? Pain. Survival? Pain. Kind two legs? No pain? Pain. Smells. Food. Two legs. Not barking. Trap? Careful. Food? Careful. Hungry. Nervous. Two legs, no pain. Good two legs? Warmth. Nervous. Outside. Cold. Inside. Warmth. No pain. No broom. Sleep. Collar. Understanding. Confusion. So much. New kind two legs. Damon. My word, Buckley? Kindness. Friendship. Joy. Communication. Water on Damon face. Salty. Excitement and sharing. Broom bad. Damon understands. No more hunger. No more cold. No more pain. Just Damon and Buckley. Damon human, Buckley dog. New two legs, Damon says humans in home. Some small, some big. No Damon, friendly to Buckley. Small humans smell of food. Small humans share food. Small humans are good. No pain, just food. Ear scratches, sleeping on Buckley. Happiness. Humans leave, confused. Why? Damon says going home. But here home. Damon says other home. Darkness. New humans in home. Smell bad. No, not bad. Smell evil. Barking. No, yelling at Damon. Damon is scared. Memories of first kind two legs. Not again. No, not again. Buckley will protect Damon. The human who yells is leader of pack, hurting Damon. No. Attack. Pain. Evil human takes collar to talk to Buckley. Evil human does not know. Evil human must know. I will kill you. Darkness. A voice in the nothingness. How do I know nothingness? I am Azara. What a beautiful voice. I am dead, I know this. What is beauty if I'm dead? I offer you a chance to return to life and save Damon. Yes, I cannot fail Damon like my first human. I will give you a piece of myself, power in exchange for your service. The cost does not matter. I will protect those who need protection. I'll comfort those who need comfort. I will find those who are lost. And I will destroy those who seek to harm the defenseless. A surge of power, new life taking hold in my human body. Not now. Focus. Find Damon. The rest can wait. His scent on the wind. Evil is easy to track, even hiding underground. Finally, there he is, bloodied and beaten, but breathing. These men will pay. I have sworn an oath to protect, but also to destroy. One after another, they come to understand that to stand between me and someone I love is to choose a swift end. And there he is, the pack leader. I told you I would kill you. Confusion as the light leaves his eyes. The fucking dog? Better. A good boy.
A small town. A funeral pyre. In the same spot another pyre burned just days earlier. Standing hunched, making their 8 feet closer to 7. Brown skin, long trunked, tucked back ears. A young 300-year-old Luxodon. Vedayana says their goodbyes to their father. Father was not long in this world without Dad. It is fitting they should go together. Ashes are mixed into ink, and ink into art, art into tradition, and tradition into skin. Father and Dad will be with Ved in their journeys to come. Ved turns from the past to look at what may be. A years-old invitation to the Azarian archives in 3 Rivers. Allowed to lie fallow until Ved's time with their parents was complete. They leave everything they know, but take everyone that matters with them. The 3 Rivers, a sprawling city, a true center of culture and commerce. They stand on a hill looking down on the testament to life. They leave the last of the ashes in the roots of a tree overlooking the metropolis, but also overlooking the road. Dad and Father belong to the Rome and the road more than any one place. Years pass. Life is lived. Trysts are tried. The fascination of the 3 Rivers becomes familiar. Ved learns and studies and serves the archive. Today, they serve at the front desk. Exhausted from interacting socially and summoned to the curator's office, they organize the cart, clean the notes, file the files, read the paper. People are missing. There's a pattern. Spread out the map. A circle around the archive? The curator might be interested. The curator! The office, an invitation. Private lift? Down. A hidden collection. An illusion? Trust. A confession. Groans. Whimpers. Darkness. Time passes. Minutes, hours, minutes, ages, moments. Awareness, pain, pains. Blood boils, life evaporates. Pain. Ved slips the bonds. Pain. A dozen sacrifices ensorcel the curator as life drains. Carries magic to a tick. Trust. Stop this mistake. The curator raises one finger of death and raises Ved. Pain. Trust. Or the archive. Ashes. Awareness. Darkness. Blue warmth. Azara. Goddess of knowledge. An evil comes. The deities themselves are endangered. Azara has begun to prepare, but she needs champions. How may I serve?
Now that you know who our heroes are and how they got here, I should probably tell you what has happened since they met. We pick up on the rocky banks where the so-called 3 Rivers meet. Biatrice, Kaelis, and Buckley approach an expansive 7-story wizard's tower they have never seen before. Assuming it belongs to Azara, whom they are here to meet, they knock and prepare to meet the goddess who gave them new life and a piece of her own divine power. They are surprised instead to find Vedayana, our 7.5-foot tall Loxodon friend. After some brief confusion and reintroductions, the newly formed party heads outside to find their meeting point. After a brief search, an illusory passage through part of the river becomes apparent, and the party descends into an underground temple. They meet the goddess and subsequently learn why they were saved. The world is going to end. Azara tells the party of a vision she had where the world was destroyed through the corruption of her pantheonic siblings. She doesn't know how, but she knows it is coming, and she has run out of time to stop it herself. So she did what any desperate god would do. She named and called upon her chosen. She tells the party of the most recent heroes of the realm who jumped into hell to kill the devil. Though the fiendish incursion stopped, the adventurers still haven't been seen, and Azara fears the worst. If that wasn't enough, it was revealed to her all too late that an imminent threat faces the people of her own city, as an aberrant cult has taken root beneath Three Rivers. Not knowing where to begin their primary task, the party decides on a Mind Flayer warm-up, a phrase that has never been said in the history of Dungeons & Dragons, and heads towards the city. Just as they leave Azara's demiplane, however, a sudden thunderous boom echoes over the land. When everyone comes to their senses, the world has been plunged into darkness, and the once bright sun of Iliara's domain is now covered by a black spot that eclipses all but the faintest edges. It is just enough to know that it is still daytime, but not by much. The party now has two pressing tasks: find a way to the Hells, likely an item attuned to the Hells for the plane shift spell, and save Three Rivers from the Mind Flayer threat. Biatrice takes them to her family home, as she believes her family of criminal smugglers might have had some sort of antiquity linked to the Hells. They strike gold, or iron, in the form of a soul coin, but not before Buckley and Kaelis realize they are already familiar with Bee's family. Kaelis was killed as a result of being kidnapped by Bee's brother Johnny, and Buckley killed Bee's second brother Tommy after Tommy killed Buckley and kidnapped his owner and best friend. With tension in the air, the party headed to the Undercity, where their Mind Flayer warm-up awaited them. They avoided the bulk of the forces below, mostly humanoids that were either controlled or cajoled by the Mind Flayers and some humanoid allies, but found themselves in conflict as they entered the lower chambers of this cave system. This is where we begin. The party find themselves in mid-combat, in a room full of bad guys who are about to find out the hard way what happens when four normie people are given ultimate power and set loose on the evil of the world. We truly hope you enjoy the journey you're about to embark on. We sure enjoyed playing it.